Hi guys, Rick from Japanese Bass Laws Direct again. In this video we're going to show you how to make a turbot rig for fishing from the boat. This is the standard rig we use from the Channel Islands. There's a couple of variations. No, it's nothing complicated. It's just I get asked a lot in the shop. How do you catch turbot? What rigs to use? Size hooks and everything like that. So we're going to run you through. Really simple. Probably one of the easiest fish to catch. So first of all, a few components you need. Decent boom, 22 centimeter Sakuma boom there. Any boom like this will do. 8-ounce leads. It's really important to keep your bait on the bottom. These fish live on the bottom, feed on the bottom. They do occasionally rise off the bottom to if you're lucky and you're retrieving the bait at the end of the drift, you sometimes can get a take, but most of the time they take baits on the bottom. So 8-ounce leads minimum. You can go up to a pound, but really 8-ounce leads is an 8-ounce lead is absolutely perfect. Two different types of leads. There's loads of different 8-ounce leads on the market. Aquapedo 8-ounce or the watch lead. I like the watch lead because as that's dragging across the bottom, it's gonna disturb the sand and maybe attract a fish over to you when you wouldn't have had a bite using the other lead. But it's not essential. So basically, what you've got is you attach the lead directly to the boom. That hangs there and keeps the gear, the trace, well away from the main line. So what we'll do, if you just bear with me a second, is this is the main line that then coming off your rod tip. I can actually see what I'm doing here. So we'll feed that through. This goes through, comes out the other end of the boom. So that's done. Always put a bead to protect the knot against the swivel. This is a small swivel. I tend to use quite small swivels. I mean, this is probably a 50 or 60 pound breaking strain swivel, so we're going to do a blood knot there 4 or 5 times around. This is a knot I use for pretty much everything. It never lets me down. Through the bottom loop, back through the top, and then wet it down, give it a pull, cut your tag end off. So there you have it. That is your boom set up, ready to go. That's the main part of it done, and then the next part is the trace. So what you want now, a lot of people are saying, you want long traces for turbot, this, that, and the other. Well, if you need 8 ounces of lead like that to hold your bait, hold your rig down on the bottom, and you're fishing with a small fillet of sand eel or a couple of fillets of mackerel even, your bait on the long trace is not going to be on the bottom, because if you need 8 ounces of lead to hold the gear down there, an ounce or 2 ounces of the bait is going to be flailing around, flapping around off the seabed. So again, the blood knot, this just fixes the hook on. We'll pull that down, pull that tight. Now trace lines, this is a brown 20-pound line I'm using just so you can maybe see it a little bit clearer on the video. Brown or clear doesn't really matter, but you want to be using 25 to say 30-pound trace because they've got an abrasive mouth. After you've had a few fish, if you've been lucky, they can chafe off. It might be worth changing your rig or your trace anyway after every drift, after every fish or a couple of fish, just to be safe. You don't want to lose your 20-pound turbot, at the side of the boat. So the hook is a 6/0 Sakuma, nice sharp, really sharp hook, and you want about a foot of trace there. Now this is the important part. Again, this helps. This is really important. Another swivel. Just quickly tie that on with a blood knot again. Basically, what this swivel does is, as the bait's being dropped down, some people drop them down a bit too quick. It helps to take the spin. That knot wasn't 100% perfect, so I wouldn't actually fish with that knot, but just for demo, it's fine. The swivel, as your gear's falling through the water, your bait is likely to spin up, and if it spins and tangles around your boom setup and everything, it's not going to be fishing properly. So basically, this little swivel here helps to take the spin out of the bait as the bait's dropping through the water. So okay, so we've got a foot or so trace there to your hook and to the swivel, and then on the back of that you want to put really no more than another 3 foot maximum of mono. This is building up the second part of your trace. So another blood knot quickly there, pull that down, tag end off again. I hate tag ends on lines, tangles. So there we go, so that's attached there. And then say, just for, I'm going to cut this a little bit shorter, but say 3 foot of mono, again same breaking strain. Sorry, 3 foot of mono there, and then that is attached to your swivel that's coming off your boom, like so. Again, just with another blood knot. Pull that down, cut the tag end off. So what you end up with is your rig like that. This is going to drag along the bottom. You know, as you're dragging it along, this is dragging along the bottom. Goes through 3 foot of 25 to 30 pound trace to a swivel. Takes out the spins of the bait when it's falling, and then your 6/0 hook. Now that is it. As simple as that. You want to let a decent amount of line out from the boat. You don't want the line going straight down, obviously, because as you're going up and over bumps and lumps on the bottom, it's going to jerk the lead off the bottom. So you want to let a good, say, you know, hit the bottom and let another 40-50 yards of line out, get the line at a nice angle away from the boat. Another thing we can do as well, sometimes I like to do this, is you can put a couple of beads above the hook. You obviously, before you put the hook on, a couple of beads like that, and then also a half-ounce drill bullet that just slides down on the back of the beads there, and that really helps to anchor the bait down on the bottom. You know, if you're using like a lighter bait, like a launce fillet or something. I mean, I still use it with mackerel fillets as well. And that is about it. You'll get the rod in the gunnel, you put it down. You can hold it if you like. I prefer to put them down because I generally fish with 2 rods. The bites are pretty. You'll see, you won't miss them really. You tend to get a couple of taps on the rod, and then the rod will start pulling over as if you've hit a snag. But obviously on sandbanks you don't generally get snags. As soon as that rod starts pulling over more than what you think it would be doing going through the sand, free spool the reel. Let the line go under control for about, and I normally count to about 10 seconds. When you get to the 10 seconds, put it back into gear, and then let the rod arch over, and then lift back into it with a reasonable amount of pressure. You don't need to strike like a wild thing. Just pull back, really good bit of pressure on it, and then you'll have the fish on. Then you just gotta get them to the boat, and that's it, guys. I mean, apart from that, I haven't got any bait out here, but I have, you know, 6/0, 7/0 hooks. You can sometimes fish with just a single fillet of sand eel, the full length of a launce, say, you know, 8, 9, 10 inches long. Another favourite of mine is actually 2 full fillets of mackerel and 2 fillets of launce, or large sand eel then, and literally both the tail ends of the fillets literally just go through the tail ends of the fillets. So I'd go with a whole fillet first through the tail once, then I'd put a launce fillet on through the tail once, and then I'd put another launce fillet on there, then I'd put another fillet on, so you end up with 2 mackerel fillets on the outsides and 2 launce fillets on the inside. You know, and that's a really big bait, because I'm always looking for a really big turbot, but I've had turbot to 3-4 pound on these size baits. They've got an exceptionally big mouth. They're not scared about eating anything like that. You know, they'll take whole mackerel. So that's it, guys. Give it a go and let us know how you get on. Good luck.